Good morning. It is day 10 and I slept really good last night by the river. Probably the best sleep I've had on trail so far. It's like 9 a.m. right now. I slept so late. I'm just taking it easy and taking my time packing up before I hike up Camel's Hump. Just want to make sure I'm nice and well rested for that climb. I'm going to show you the stealth campsite where I camped last night, right next to this beautiful river. Make a pretty good swimming hole if the water wasn't so cold right now. Alright, goodbye lovely camping spot. It's time to hit the trail. It's about 10:30 right now. So I'm hoping to maybe hike at least 8 miles today. And we'll see how far I get. I might push on to the next shelter after that, depending how I feel. But for now, we're just gonna take it easy and see how it goes. When I did my section hike last summer, this is where I took a dip. Lovely area. This is Duxbury window view. I remember you. Here's the trail junction to go up to Camel's Hump and Montclair Glen Lodge. Bamforth Ridge Shelter is that way. That's where I camped last year. But I think I'm just gonna keep going up. I always enjoyed walking along these ledges to get to Camel's Hump. You just have views up almost the whole way. It's really cool. I think I'm gonna be climbing up there. Looks a little clouded in, but not bad. I remember stopping here with Sean in October on our hike back to the car from our bad weather backpacking trip. We didn't have any view up there that day. Getting a little closer. This is the section that last year a Nobo Thru hiker told me kicked his butt as I was hiking up it for us, the sunset hike. And he told me I was being ambitious. And now I'm doing my own thru hike. And I'm going SOBO. I think this is where Sean and I sat on his birthday and shared a beer I had hiked up the mountain, or I had hiked for 4 days in my backpack to share with him on his birthday. And that was back when we did our bad weather backpacking trip in October. We didn't have any views on top of Camel's Hump, but we got views right here. Doing the last little push up Camel's Hump, and then it'll be downhill from there. Just came from there. Climbing up and over some boulders. This is on my hike to the shelter. Nice little ridge walk here. I forgot how slow going and challenging the way down Camel's Hump is. Oh, it's taking me a long time to get this last half mile done. I'm still up so high. That was the most deceiving 1.7 miles ever. Took me like, I don't know, 2 hours to get down there. Forgot how difficult that was. Alright, we have 0.2 miles left to go. Clear Glen Lodge. I'm inside my hammock for tonight. Yeah, I got to Montclair Glen Lodge about 7 o'clock. Set up my hammock in the tenting area. Talked to some northbounders that were staying there. They were pretty nice. There was a GMC caretaker here, and he asked to see my GMC card, so it's already come in handy bringing that. So that's already $10 that my GMC membership has saved me. And I'm sure I'm going to run across more caretakers as I go further south. Yeah, just chilling. It's a really nice night tonight. Probably stay nice and warm in my hammock again. I'm going to watch some videos and hunker down and hopefully get an earlier start tomorrow, because I have to hike a little more than 10 miles tomorrow, and it's some tough terrain. No more 4,000 footers, but I have to go up and down, I think, 3 peaks, and I have to go through Ladder Ravine, so it could be pretty slow going. So an early start ensures that I can get my shuttle and get to my B&B sooner than later. So this is the end of day 10. The trail is literally a river. This is just nuts. All right, I have made it to the infamous Ladder Ravine. I'm not going to film myself going up this ladder, but you can see it in my bad weather backpacking video. It's really not that bad. You just have to make sure you get your footing at the top. The rope is somewhat helpful. Walking up to Burnt Rock Mountain. Nice little ledge walk, though you can't see anything right now through the clouds. And here's the rope Sean and I had to climb down. So I just came down from Burnt Rock Mountain. It was very windy and misty up there, and I wanted to try to keep my phone dry, so I didn't film any of it, but I did get amazing view up on that mountain in October, so you can check that out. So I'm gonna go the next 0.9 miles, stop for lunch at Cowles Cove Shelter, and see where I'm at. I've got 6.4 miles to go of today's hike, and it's just before 11 o'clock. Alright, I made it to Cowles Cove Shelter. I'm gonna get out of the rain, have some lunch. Nuts how many water crossings there are. I lost count of how many I crossed. Well, the good news is there won't be any shortage of water. There's Birch Glen Camp, where me and Sean stayed last year. I think this is the part where I hike up a waterfall. So that was actually harder than it looked. I've come 108.9 miles from Canada. Oh, it's so good to see the road. Oh my God. Today really tested my limits. It's only 10.6 miles, but it was hard hiking, especially that last little bit. Whew. Made it to Appalachian Gap. So today was extremely tough. Even though I only hiked 10.6 miles, it was very hard hiking. It poured rain all day. It was slippery, muddy. The trail was a river most of the time, and I had to climb up Ladder Ravine, and I had to climb up a rope up a slick rock face up to Burnt Rock Mountain. There were no views, and then I had a lot of kind of pointless ups and downs, and then I had to hike down a steep rocky climb to the parking area. On the way, I had to hike these really complex technical hiking obstacles, including a waterfall. My feet were soaked the entire time. I had run out of food, but I knew I was going to get dinner when I got picked up, so it wasn't a huge deal. The innkeeper from the hotel picked me up, and on the way to the hotel, I saw familiar faces. M and G were hitchhiking toward town, and I was like, I know them. And the innkeeper was like, oh, you want me to pick them up? And I was like, yeah. So we picked them up, and they were really surprised to see me. But it was really cool catching up with them. I guess they were hiking with Craig, who I hiked with on day 4, I think it was. And I guess they had stayed at the same shelter for the past 2 nights, and they hadn't seen Cyrus since we split ways, but they kept seeing somebody named Peanut Butter in the logbooks, and because he was always he always had this giant jar of peanut butter that he would just like eat from with a spoon. So I guess he got that trail name. We're thinking that's him anyway. Who else could be Peanut Butter? But yeah, they hadn't seen him. They think he's like a day ahead. But M and G left off at the same place I did, which was Appalachian Gap, and they're staying at a different inn tonight. So the innkeeper from here might give them a ride to the trailhead tomorrow also, which would mean that we could be hiking together and staying at the same shelters again, which would be really cool, because it kind of sucked hiking alone today. Like, you know, you fall down and like nobody's there to, like, I don't know, witness it or like be like, oh, are you okay, or whatever. Like, so that's like kind of hard. But yeah, today was a really good day. I got my laundry done. I got an awesome meal of salad and a cheeseburger, and I had a Lawson's beer. And it was really good. I had a shower. I just got to air out all my stuff and reorganize it. I got a resupply box that was mailed directly to here, so I didn't need to go into town or anything. So I got all my food reorganized and everything. They had a hiker box here, so it's like a box where like people come and put like anything they don't want, like food or whatever, into the box, and you can take whatever you want and you can leave behind anything that you don't want. So I took like a couple, like some band-aids and I don't know what else I took. There was just a couple small things I took, and then I left behind like some extra alcohol for my stove, and a couple snacks I didn't want. So that was really cool. I'm uploading some footage tonight, and hoping to get my first video up tonight if I can, and just getting caught up and on the daily goings on of day-to-day life, and getting caught up with family and friends and stuff. So that's really good. The next part of the trail is one I've done a couple times already, and so I know exactly what to expect. So I'm looking forward to that. And it trail should start to get easier from here on out. So it is supposed to rain again tomorrow. Hopefully it won't be as constant and terrible as today was. But at least now I'm going into it starting out dry and rested and showered and everything. So that's about it. This was the end of day 11. So next resupply and shower and everything is not going to be until July 19th, which is Monday. And then I'm going to take my first 0 day on the 20th at the Inn at the Long Trail, so I'm really excited about that. Anyways, that's about it. Good night. All right, starting out day 12 on the Long Trail. We started out at Appalachian Gap. I just said Appalachian a different way than I normally say it. And tonight we'll see how far we make it up. Maybe Battell shelter, maybe farther. I'm here with M&G. Nice and showered and refreshed and fed. It's a new day, sun is out. Woohoo. Hoping for the best. Yeah, if they weren't there, it'd be a lot worse. I don't know how I'm gonna sit here with my pack on. Oh, I just hit my head on that bar. Okay, I did it. We made it to Stark's Nest. Just had a little quick break. Would normally be a view up here, but it's very clouded in. It's alright. Having a good time. Got the hardest part of the hiking day over with, probably. And we're headed toward Mount Ellen. Climbing up some slick rock face toward Mount Ellen. Got a little peekaboo view through the trees there. I have emerged from the forest. Just about at the top of Mount Ellen now.
So we don't want to linger too long.
These red flowers are so pretty.
No view on top of Mount Ellen. We just had a moment of blue sky up on Mount Ellen. Someone lost their employee badge from 08 and 09. Poor Nick Simon. M&G are ahead of me. They're hiking really fast. They're trying to avoid this thunderstorm that's impending. We keep hearing rumblings of thunder in the distance, and they seem to be getting a little bit more frequent and louder. So we're trying to get to Castle Rock before any storm erupts, and we're gonna have lunch in that little ski warming hut where Sean and I camped last October. So that should be good. I think it might be about a mile or a little less away from there. I seem to have made it before the thunderstorm. So that's good. It's a bit hairy for a second there. Look, we even got a bit of a view from here. Made it into the shelter just in time as the rain and thunder rolled in. Had lunch and just hunkering down to wait out the storm. We only have 2.6 miles left to hike today to the shelter, so not in any rush. This is on the way up to Lincoln Peak. Catch the view while we have it. All smiles on Lincoln Peak. Finally got our view. This peak needs more cowbell. Alright, this is the fourth 4,000 footer on Long Trail South. There's only one more to go, and it's the one I haven't done yet. So. Whew. We got some views up here. Well, on one side anyway. But I think I'll take it. I forgot how rocky this is going down. So we got to camp at about 4:30 today at Battell Shelter. We hiked about 9.3 miles today, but it was some challenge, like really difficult at the beginning because we had to hike up the Appalachian Gap. So there was a lot of this sort of rebar sections and ladders to climb. And then once we got up there, got a little bit easier. So the forecast for today called for thunderstorms. So we just tried to like get up and over the ridge as fast as we could. So that kind of pushed us along, and we made pretty good time. We ended up stopping at Castle Rock for lunch, and we had gotten there just in time because like the thunderstorm like rolled in while we were in there, and it poured rain, but it passed really quickly, so we were able to get going, and we hiked up the rest of the ridge, and we actually got some views on Lincoln Peak and Mount Abraham, which is really good because I'd hiked those peaks before and I'd gotten views, but Michelle and Jeff hadn't hiked them before, so I was glad that they got to see that, because it's like that whole section is like one of my favorite sections of the LT. So after that, yeah, so it wasn't too bad of a day. There was a lot of mud because it had been raining the past few days, so my feet got pretty damp. But yeah, we got to camp. We had plenty of time to like set up and cook dinner and get water and everything. And then so when we showed up, there was another family here, but there was like enough room for everybody and stuff. And I got my hammock up, and then like these people like showed up at like 8 o'clock, like after everyone had already gone to bed, and like they're making like so much noise, and I'm like, oh my god. And then they set up like right next to my hammock, and so like yeah, there's like dog barking and like I don't know, like kids, and like they're like yelling and stuff. So I really hope that like they quiet down by the time I'm ready to sleep. Otherwise, I might have to like actually like move my hammock or something, because I have to, like I have to get up early and stuff. I didn't get much sleep last night, so I'm hoping that I can actually get sleep tonight so I can get up and hike tomorrow. We're supposed to put down 12.5 miles to get to our next shelter, which would be the Emily Proctor shelter. So yeah, I don't know. So yeah, that's all for tonight. I was feeling like a little bit homesick a little bit today, and missing Sean, and I was able to get some text messages through, I think, but it's been hard like getting service reliably to like be able to actually like converse, so that's kind of tough, and I don't think it's going to get better this next stretch because I kind of think we're entering sort of a dead zone, so I don't know. I'm trying to save my battery as much as I can at the same time too, because I know that my next recharge day isn't going to be until in at the Long Trail, which is going to be the 19th. So I don't know. We'll just have to take it as it comes, I guess. So good night. So I had to move. I had asked if they were gonna be up late, and they were like, "Oh, we're hoping not to, whatever." And I was like, "Cause I didn't get any sleep last night, and I wanted to get an early start, and
they were just like, oh, but we didn't sleep either, whatever. So I was just like, whatever. And then like their dog just like ran at me and like started barking and whatever. And like I was just like, I'm just done. Like I was just like, this isn't gonna get any better, and I don't think they're gonna have the courtesy to move, so, or quiet down. So I just like packed everything and like left to like the other side of the rivers where I couldn't hear them anymore. But it's like, if you're gonna like be really loud, like don't set up like literally right next to someone else who's trying to sleep. Like, I mean, is that like too much to grasp? Like, what is wrong with people?